Welcome or welcome back, beautiful beings, to the channel. Let's get some smudging in here. I am 𝐥𝐤𝐤, your medicine woman, and today I'm going to be going over the top things you need to know about this Pisces full moon that is happening on August 31st, 2023. This is our second full moon of the month. It's been a very potent month. I'll get into all of that and check in with you guys. But in this video, I'm going to do a full card pool for you. We're going to go over how it will affect you, what you can expect, how you can work with this full moon, and so much more. So before we get into all the deets, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, and if it's your first time here, hello. I know there's a lot of new faces in the community. Please introduce yourself with a rainbow emoji, your name, where are you from, what are your lands that you're in. This is how we connect with community. This is how we stay connected beyond the screen. So I do read them. I'd love to hear from you. And also let me know if you're a Pisces and where does it fall in your chart and how you are feeling. I am actually going to be channeling this for you guys in Portugal the day before the goddess retreat. So you guys are going to get all of the download messages. All of the download messages. Don't forget, I have my last retreat that's happening in Rio de Janeiro for the ancestral retreat, and it's happening end of November in a beautiful Amazon of Brazil. And I'm really excited. It's a medicine retreat. If you're interested in connecting with your ancestors, you want to clear karmic patterns within your DNA and for your lineage before and after, please come. You're feeling called to heal with community. This is going to be a space for you. It's my last one. It's a very potent space. And yeah, I'm just bringing that all in, trusting who's meant to. If you want to apply, you can fill out the form. I'm going to be closing the application soon, so go do that ASAP. And I'm also opening my one-on-ones for fall. So if you're interested in connecting with ancient modalities of healing and want to do a healing session with me, email me through my link tree. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. How are you feeling, fam? Let's be honest, how are you feeling? This month has been really potent. You know, we got the new moon in Leo. We had so much. Like, let me just track it because I wrote it all down for you guys, so we can just do a little flow. Because let's just check in with each other. Let's take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. And I hope you guys can hear me because I am on a main road in a small town in Portugal, 3 hours away from Lisboa, Lisbon. So we had the Aquarius full moon, our first full moon of August. We had the Lion's Gate. We had the new moon in Leo. And now we have the full moon, a second full moon in Pisces. This summer, Spirit's not joking. It's all about purging. A lot of us had physical purges. Since the Lion's Gate, days leading before, I would even say a week before, I know I did. If you had a cold, if you had headaches, the upgrades were so physically intense. You just had to pause and do nothing. And if you know what I'm talking about, let me know. How are you feeling? Go back to that week because this is going to be huge to start the season in fall. Now we're transitioning. We're transition as this full moon is representation of transition with the astral plane. And on August 31st, 2023, 3 days before the day and 3 days after, because you guys know, full moons, new moons, any portals, it's always the days before. It's a week. It's a week-long energy. So when we're looking into this, it's a super moon energy. So not only did we just go through the Aquarius full moon, which was all about, you know, freedom, justice, collective, okay? Then we went into the Lion's Gate, which is all about abundance, right? So anything, any way that we're creating ourselves small, any relationships that are not in alignment, any sacred unionship that is not in alignment. So maybe some of you went through a breakup this month. Maybe some of you had to revisit divorce papers. Maybe some of you had to have an ex just slip in your DMs. You know, I'm just saying that this was a really big part because that day on Lion's Gate, the number was 23. When you add the days, so like the 8th day, the 2023 year, it's 23, year 2023. So that is a divine union. It means that anything that is of attraction to your being and your energy is going to attract you. Anything that is not is going to leave you, and you're going to go through a physical purge. Then we move into the Leo new moon, which is all about new intentions. So from that Lion's Gate, we've now dropped into what are we wanting to create? We're seeing it come into the reality, the 3D. We're starting to get our energy back again. We're feeling excited for the new season. You know, fall's coming up. Beyond all of like the whatever lattes and the cute outfits and all that, it's just this new season that we're feeling. Where does full moon in Pisces play? Full moon in Pisces is all about understanding that we've been in retrograde. There's been a lot of pauses. And now Pisces is a very astro sign. They're very connected to the psychic space. They're connected to the cosmic family. A lot of them are star seeds. If you're a star seed, let me know with the star emoji down below. So this gives you an idea of what it is. Full moon in Pisces, August 31st, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, you're starting to know a difference between protection and bypassing, right? You just went through a big purge with Lionsgate and the beginning of the month of August, right? So that purge was physically allowing you to understand, who am I allowing in my energy field? Which environments am I allowing myself in? Which ones don't feel aligned? And where do I need to clear that up? Now, the physical purge you went through was kind of a reminder for this Pisces full moon that this is who you can and cannot let come through in your space. There was a huge astral energetic boundary that was created by your soul. And with the full moon in Pisces, August 31st, 2023, we're understanding that what's the difference between actually bypassing the fact that you can say your boundaries and making an excuse that, you know, I can't do this because of this. This is not supportive for me. There's no way that I can choose myself. That, you know, anything along abundance, spaciousness, and time, any of those excuses that you were giving yourself and putting other people in front of you no longer exist. So with this Pisces of full moon, it's kind of like this last reminder of some of the things that happened at the beginning of the month. Think of the people you were messaging, the people you were talking to. Those people have lessons for you about protecting your energy, communicating your boundaries, and also understanding where you bypassing certain conversations. Because even though the Spirit's showing you the angel numbers and everything, this is the Pisces energy, they're giving you everything you need to know. And it's not until now that you're like, oh my gosh, I see it now. So full moon in Pisces is teaching us how to protect our energy field through our environments, through our dream state, so your dreams, you know, and that means hygiene. Like, what does your routine look like before you go to bed, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after the full moon Pisces? You really need to focus on your sleep hygiene. So scrolling is not gonna help you, because that's just gonna open up to that, you know, energy. And I don't wanna put fear out here. I'm not here to put fear, but you know, it's just, we have a responsibility to understand to say yes and no to certain energies. And, you know, at the end of the day of the world, like light and shadow and whatever you want to call it, the insanity of this world, and this is something I learned recently, the insanity of this world is that we're being revealed that protection is only made when we can communicate what we want and what we don't want. The moment that we do that, Spirit knows what it needs to work with the astral realm for the highest light, for the benevolent beings to come down and support you. But until you communicate that, the universe is abundant, it is quantified. So it's gonna give you opportunities in your career, in your relationship, in your unionship, in yourself, in your abundance, in your connection with your gifts, in the way that you present yourself as your yes and your no, and your boundaries. And you can lovingly learn that through this full moon. Full moons represent clearing, cleansing. So we're getting this cleanse, right? And where we're bypassing certain conversations and realizations and understanding, what Spirit's telling us is, where can we face that head on, that situation, that conversation we have to have with someone, that decision of like, when am I gonna leave my job? And this isn't for everyone. I'm not gonna be like, everyone needs to leave their job. This is for a few of you. It's a very small fraction of you on here. And also for some of you that just need to understand that the new version of you that has become, that was birthed on the Lionsgate, August 8th, 2023, is now getting to understand that there are certain things that you used to just let flow and let go under the rug, that now your new self is like, it's a no for me. and it's a yes for me, you know? So start to practice and to revisit some old stories and look at them in new ways so you can create a beautiful pillar around you to protect you on your new venture and the new journey that you're going to be embarking in the fall. Okay, and that's coming close. It's September. The next thing you need to know about this Pisces full moon that's happening on August 31st, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. Like I said, it's all about detox baths. It's about clearing and smudging your space. It's about changing your space and also just like arrangement. So looking at feng shui, I don't know if you guys are familiar, feng shui is a very beautiful practice talking about the chi of the space, the energy of the space, why certain people have to put, you know, couches in certain areas and where it should be connected with the door and the entrance and the north and the south and the east and west. So even in your home, you can connect with the energy of feng shui. So bringing the chi energy in your space so you can have more abundance or maybe more happiness or maybe more calmness, right? So this is a great time to do some research on feng shui, and I'm gonna give you a couple little nimbits, okay? For this Pisces full moon, you gotta kind of sit with yourself and say, now that I've tuned into my abundant self, my highest timeline from the Lion's Gate, that version of me, where do I want to focus on coming up fall? What is the next season? What's my next chapter? What season am I in? Like I told you guys in the last video. Once you've realized that, you then want to feng shui your space and look up, for example, what is a way that I can bring more abundance in my living room according to feng shui? You can Google it up. There's many amazing YouTubers on here that I even follow whenever I want to shift the energy of my space or my temple space when I do healings. So you can do the same. It's a little secret for you guys. So this is a great way to call and to work with energy in your space. And the great thing too, if for example, we're talking about protection and energy, you can say, look up feng shui for protection, for grounding, for clearing energy, right? How can you grid your house with crystals? That's a great way for this full moon in Pisces. You can really reset and prepare yourself for the next season, is regridding your space, right? And that could be like putting crystals, and there's various ways you can grid. You can look it up. I'm not gonna go too much into it because I wanna focus on the energy for you guys, but this is a great guidance that can support you. Clearing out your clothes, clearing out things from past relationships, friendships, partnerships. This one's coming up. For any of you guys who have storage, I don't know why this is coming up, but I have to say this. If you've been paying for storage, some of you guys gotta like get that stuff out. Okay, you're complaining about how you don't have abundance, but this full moon in Pisces is all about you're bypassing something. So you're like hoarding. Hoarding is an example of scarcity, right? So this is what I'm saying. There's gonna be like something comes up that you didn't see before, but now because you're in this high frequency, you're gonna see it and you're gonna have to shift it. And you're like, oh my God, my new self can't be from the scarce space because it doesn't exist in me anymore. That trauma doesn't exist in me anymore. I can clear that out. So Spirit's channeling that out to you. And a great way of doing that is, you know, if you have your storage, get rid of the stuff. Get rid of the stuff. This is your sign during this Pisces full moon to get rid of it. You know, throw it all out. You don't need it later, and figure out, you know, what do you need, and be more ceremonial with the things and the items in your house, right? What are things that you love? What are things that you're like, and what are stuff so like, oh, I'll wear it later. Get rid of it. This is what this month's about. The next thing about this full moon in Pisces that's happening on August 31st, 2023, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, is HSPs. What does that mean? Hypersensitive people. That's me. You are going to be surging energy. Hypersensitive people, how do you know you're a hypersensitive person? You can look it up. I might even do a video on this because this is actually really good, because there's a difference between an empath and a hypersensitive person, right? An empath, we are all empaths. Every single human, mammal, living being is an empath, period. Hypersensitive person is a person that maybe at a young age, they were in a constant, very high frequency, energetic, active household, but they were not taught to work with that energy. So during this full moon in Pisces, your younger years is learning how to protect, and the difference of bypassing what are some coping mechanisms you used to use and to get rid of coping mechanisms during this full moon in Pisces, right? So for hypersensitive people, because you're going to be a full channel of light to source, you're going to receive a lot of messages about the collective system. We're talking about the system that's going on. There is a lot of lies that are given to our society right now, and we're seeing it just with the events that happened. Hawaii is one. The government is like a huge situation that we're looking at those places, financial systems, like anything with government, financial systems, and basically the world, like what's going on with the most sacred sites and how we have to protect them. So the biggest message that's happening is you guys are going to get a lot. It's going to be another awakening for you if you haven't been getting awakened enough. And you're going to go through this big release that's going to come out. And you're going to want to tell everyone about this information. But the best thing to do, and one of the things my teacher shares, is how can you pray to that person? How can you put prayer out there, intention out there, and just talking to that creator, whatever you connect with, but then also talking to the elements to work with you, using that information and being a source, being an active being on this earth to protect the earth, to protect the energy of the earth, to protect the collective and where this earth is shifting. So hypersensitive people are getting the deepest channel messages. We're going to get a lot of people, especially in the online world, that are going to share some very jaw-dropping information that is going to and you won't be able to unsee it. This always happens every August, every year, like every year around this time, to the point. Every single year, there's always something that is jaw-dropping. It's already happening as you're watching this, if you look at it, right? So selenite, clear quartz, black obsidian are gonna be your best friend for any hypersensitive people channeling a lot of collective messages about systems. Please use those crystals, charge them with the sun during the day, and then throughout the day of the Pisces full moon, put them out and use them for the next week to integrate, help, and support you. Check your environments that will help support your energy. So again, really working with feng shui, really working with protecting, clearing, cleansing. You should be cleansing every single day, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. If you're not doing that, you're gonna just feel super overwhelmed with the energy. And and then you're gonna feel like you're just having the world on your shoulders, right? And Pisces has this thing. They feel like they have the world on their shoulders, but you don't have to. You are choosing to take the world and save the world, right? Pisces want to save the world. Aquarius have this too. They want to save the world. They want to be there. They want to see the change in the world. That's great, but that doesn't mean saving or showing up in the world. It means you have to hold the pain of the world, right? There's this old paradigm of suffering in order for us to get to the point of shifts and change. And that's our old generation. That's our ancestral pattern. What full moon in Pisces is teaching us to let that go and say, you don't need to suffer, you need community, you need connection, you need your cosmic family to come through, to come and channel through you. And a lot of you are receiving that in the deepest divine way, and it's so exciting. Some of you are gonna have these beautiful light beings that are just gonna keep channeling for you. There's gonna be a lot of alien visits. We're already getting them coming to our world. But a lot new alien species are gonna come to this world and say, hello, we have some information to channel for you. Taking that information in through dreams, through meditations, and then what you wanna do is then say, how can I be that, live that in my divinity, in my being, in my abundant highest being that I am, that I channeled on August 8th. Right? And on the Leo new moon, that person that I am recoding has now come to the point that it is time. It is now time to really go into these invitations, to not be scared of the different dimensions, but rather be curious, because it's opening up during Pisces full moon. We're opening new dimensions that our human race hasn't had access to. So I know this is so woo and deep to bring you guys in, but stay with me. I know this is deep, but just in full, what I will share with you, if you're with me here, let me know with an alien emoji. They are just coming in deep, and there's so many new ones. I've been connecting with some very new, beautiful, guys, beautiful alien beings that have been coming through and connecting with me And I'm sharing the information here. This is how, I'm not saying, hey, this being said, blah, 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 but I am in service to the unseen through this channeling, through the online world, through our human translation, which is social media right now, for now, whatever it is, right? So it's learning how to step into that space. Another thing to know about this full moon in Pisces that's happening on August 31st, 2023, 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after, is that the full moon will tell you what to let go of. Don't just back decisions. Don't just make decisions because you're impatient. Sorry, I made a typo there. So before you make decisions, like I said, we were in retrograde, like everything was in retrograde. I'm not gonna go so deep into that, but all in all, to translate to our beings, this is a time for you to really be patient with your decisions. You know, this is your nesting full moon. This is your full moon where you have that weekend where you put on a good Netflix movie and you make a good home cooked meal and you wear your favorite cozy pajamas and your sweatpants and you're feeling all good. And if you have a partner, maybe your partner's there, your besties are over, and you're just vibing, you know, no makeup, you're just in your most natural state. This is that full moon in Pisces energy. It's the reset that you're getting that people don't see. It's the channel messages that you're getting that you're not going and just all over the social media. You're just receiving it, you're letting it sink, you're creating that sacred holding. And in doing that, you then come out of your cocoon and was like, I'm here. New season, who is this, right? That is the Pisces full moon. It's about really sitting, observing, reflecting on what major things have happened in August. Because as I said, August is a very potent time. This is the reset of systems. This is the pattern I've been tracking for the past years. There's a revelation. What's in the dark comes into the light in systems. We're talking technological systems, social media systems, financial systems, like institutional systems. And then we're also talking about truth of actually people, right? Seeing who they are. Because now, not only are we seeing the truth and we're stepping the truth for those of you who've been on it, and during this Pisces full moon even more, now we're getting the other side of that, the other side, the other dimension, the other beings, the aliens, the cosmic beings, whatever you want to connect with, they're coming on the other side and they're shining their light. And in the center is the world and is the earth, and they're shining it, and we're seeing more and more, and the veil does not exist at this point. The veil does not exist. The seen and unseen are no longer separated as of the full moon in Pisces. They are now completely conjoined. They are now together. And this brings me to the next part too, when you can be in that space with your Netflix and you're chilling, and I'm just giving an example, maybe for you it's meditation because, you know, full moon vibes, right? But we can also do human things if that's what you need. But if you are meditating, or, you know, you're taking your detox bath and you're smudging and you're just feeling yourself, you know, whatever you're doing, that's the vibe that you're going with while you're in that observing and reflective space. This full moon in Pisces that's going to happen here, the next step that comes up is you start to observe your life. You start to observe your life, and this is what I'm going to say to you right here. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. This is what I'm going to say to you guys right here. Observe your life. Because when you can observe it in all angles with this Pisces full moon, which creates as a multi-dimensional perspective, you can then see, what do I need to change? What am I bypassing that now my highest frequency self can no longer bypass? How can I communicate my needs, my boundaries? Write those down because I'm channeling right now. How can I step into the deepest devotion and show up in this world in the way that I can, with compassion, not looking at, I'm doing everything wrong. You're not doing everything wrong. You're actually doing all things you need to. You're not doing it right or wrong. So for the perfectionists, there's no right in this full moon. And for those who are just like not wanting to be there and perfect, there's no wrong either, right? So you can't be the villain But this Pisces full moon, and you can't be the survivor, but you can choose to be the victim to the changes that are happening. And that is the big thing with August. The theme we're seeing as we close this month together is really this telepathic information that is beyond anything that we've accessed before. And we have to ask ourselves, you know, what is this moon asking us? How is the world affecting us? Our food is being changed, right? We're getting more different intelligence, if you will, information, other beings, other dimensions. It is only the time of this present moment will tell that we're shifting, we're evolving. And now is a time where fall is teaching us that we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. We're ready for truth. And anyone that wants to continue to just hold and grip to the old because they're scared. They're scared of what is beyond. They're scared of the dimensions that are being opened. And I get it. You got a choice. You got a choice to step into and get supported by these light beings that have intelligence that is beyond us, to support us for this new history that we're going into. Or there are going to be some souls that really are not ready. And if they're not ready, we're going to see that. We're already starting to see that. There's been a little bit of a clearing I've seen collectively for this full moon in Pisces, 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, where there's certain souls that have specifically had a contract and they're going to a certain planet to do some healing work. And these souls, this planet, that this dimension, that these beings have shared, has been a planet that has been created for many, many decades as human time. But it was created specifically for this past, I want to say, 2018's coming up. So the planet finished around that time. And then what happened? We had those 2 years off. And a lot of these souls transitioned, right? So there is this mold of the souls that transitioned were never lost. So if you lost someone you cared about the past few years, they're not gone, they're here. And some of them are actually working for this earth to clear it. And others are doing their work because now they're completely stripped from their human ego that they can do the work to prepare and come back again if they choose to. So I don't know why I felt called to share that, but I did share this, and I know this is very deep. I really suggest you guys receiving and maybe even rewatching this again because there's so much coming up. And let me know in the comments what's hitting. I've not even done the reading, by the way. Let me know in the comments what's hitting. Got a few more things I want to share with you guys. Lucid dreaming is gonna happen on this Pisces full moon. You can't have a moon in a Pisces sign without some lucid dreaming. Come on. You gotta have some lucid dreaming. So you're seeing a lot more energies, and this lucid dreaming is going to happen in your daytime, in your beta wave, which is your wave that your brain's in when you're doing things, you're at work and you're just doing your life. That's your beta wave. The lucid dreaming are becoming one, because this time, like I said, there is no veil. 3 days before the day of and 3 days after, August 31st, 2023, this Pisces full moon, the veil has completely been destroyed for us to see something bigger, and it's a collective awakening. This awakening that each and every single one of us is deeply connected to the collective, and it's to help push the collective growth for the next season, which is happening in the fall. I'll leave that for you guys later in the next video. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe for that. Third eye is going to be the most affected chakra during this Pisces full moon that's happening on August 31st, 2023. So going through major upgrades, like I said, the lucid dreaming, the channeling, even the light language, the tongue language is going to channel through you. For some of you that I know that are very gifted with your mediumship, with your throat chakra, some of you who maybe haven't been protecting your voice, communicating your voice and your truth, you might even have a sore throat around this time. And that's a cleansing. That's telling you, your body's telling you where you've been either overstraining it and something's not in balance, or the opposite. Something that you just need to speak up. Speak up. What version of you needs to speak up at this time? And stop hiding that you're seeing the unseen. Stop rejecting the unseen, because it's about to get louder in the next few years. Much louder. And it's exciting, to be honest, because then we can be in this softness in the as a collective and move this very toxic masculine structure that has been put on us and go into the smooth unionship, which is why the Lion's Gate was so important. It's all about divine unionship of the feminine and masculine, no matter what your gender is. We all have that. It weaves, and now it's become this beautiful vortex where it's ready to seed and it's ready to flourish. So within you, it's being called that the third eye, the throat chakra, like this is all connected, the head. Look at what's going on here energetically, physically. You know, write notes on that during this Pisces full moon. This is going to tell you, what are you feeling in these areas of your body? There might be resisted anger coming behind the ears if there's some tension, right? Feeling pressure in the third eye, maybe there's an upgrade going on here. Throat chakra is feeling a little, maybe there's something that needs to be cleared. So really looking at that, because this whole chakra area is connected. Crown, third eye, and throat, those three areas are connected during this, and they're going to be affected the most. Insecurities are things we are attached to giving our wounded self false reality of safety in the environment and relationships. What are some ways you talk to yourself? Environments you choose, relationships you connect with, and decisions you make to give yourself security. Yet, do not sit well in your body. Know that because I put an acronym. Knowing that F yes or that F no way feeling in your body by connecting with your third eye, your root chakra at the same time. This is a practice you can do. So this false reality that we've been fed to, we're seeing it already with the changes that's been happening this month with social media and like what can be posted and the terms and you know what's going on with Twitter and the shift. Like we're seeing that collectively, and this is why when a lot of people say I don't listen to the news, and I'm like, that's good. I'm like that too, but I don't not either, because that lets me know and can sometimes confirm for you what you're feeling. Right? Not saying that you have to look at the news every single day, but you know, we have to be connected to the problem, because if we bypass, which goes back to protection and bypassing, if you think protecting yourself is not looking at the news, not looking at the problem, not looking at the fires that's happening around the world. We've had a lot of fires this year. There's something there. There's something there. Are some of them made by nature? Maybe, or maybe not. Right? I'll leave that for you to understand and to see. But what I will say here, on the YouTube, what I will say is that you have the responsibility to understand that there are false reality bubbles that are gonna pop, and it's like a bat hitting your ego, like with a piñata, like it's hitting it and it's opening up, and then all this candy is gonna fall out, and the candy is like bam, bam, all the things that you felt like you were lost in this whole month, this whole 6 months is gonna open. It's gonna be, oh, I see the connection. I so see why I was bypassing it. I so see where I was in fear. I so see where I was thinking I was protecting myself, when really I was being told what protection was. Wow. Full moon in Pisces is all about, what has this world taught you about protection? What has this world taught you about environment? What has this world taught you about relationships, union, partnership? Look around. If you stay in your nest and you're a spiritual person, conscious person, hiding all the time, you're not really seeing the realism of this world. And we cannot see what is to be new, and we cannot see and fathom and connect with the astral and land it in our body if we're just astral doing the spiritual work and we're not landing it with seeing the truth of the world. And the truth of the world right now, Pisces full moon is like, wake up, wake the F up. Because the moment we wake the F up, we're just allowing ourselves to be free. To be free. Write that down below. My soul's divine right is to be free, and it is so. My soul's divine right is to be free, and it is so. Because when you can have your divine right to be free, you are then giving the collective to be free, and for them to see the reality, and for them to take off their rose gold glasses and to see what we've been fed for so much. So this full moon in Pisces is a lot about your connection of systems and how you can get answers through the Pisces full moon and clear that out of your being. Clear this false reality of protection, whether that's in your work, you know, systems of school, and how they prepare us. They prepare us to think that this is the way that we stay protected. This is the way that we get our income. This is the way that we retire. All of that is going to be awakened. And I'm so curious to know in the comments, like, what is the collective opening, realization, awakening that you have noticed during this Pisces full moon? I'm just curious. Or during this month. When you look at this month and how it's affect you and your nervous system, right? This full moon's about taking out whatever is not regulating your nervous system. Woo, deep, 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 deep. So this Pisces full moon is all about that we have had a big jolt of energy. We went through a physical purge, and the collective things that were going on created a huge shift in our nervous system and feeling like we were looking for our roots, our root chakra. And now it's like we break free. And we're breaking free alongside with the astral. And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's literally amazing. I'm so excited I'm channeling this for you guys. Because this is something that I'm so passionate sharing this. And you know why, guys? First of all, the depth of information that each of you have access to right now, if you just allow your gifts and you allow that curiosity to unfold, because third eye represents insight, right? Insight of what? 23. Lionsgate 2023. The year 23 is about law of attraction. That's what it means. What isn't for you sheds off. So whatever force systems that are going to the conscious world right now are going to be they will not magnetize. And the systems know that they're losing control, right? And that's like the happy part. Now is a time for us to start to plan what's next. What type of garden do you want to start seeding now? For a new earth, for a new world. I'm gonna take out new earth, for a new world. Because you can sit here complaining about the world in your bubble, or you can start going out there and showing up energetically to the world that you are seeding and watering. What are we watering alongside with the other dimensions? So I can go off, but I'm gonna pull some cards and leave it there for you guys. I know this is deep. Let's take a deep breath. I'm like, man, I really went off on you guys. I went deep with you guys, but I had to. And to be honest, Portugal has made my channel so strong, along with the dieta I just got back from. So it gets me excited to film because I'm like, ooh, I'm just giving you guys all the hot takes. So, and guys, if you're not following me on TikTok, 𝐿𝐸_𝐶𝐿, I only have one account, by the way. I do not message you or tell you, oh, you have beautiful energy. If that happens, report. No. Absolutely no, we're not doing that. But all this to say is I would highly suggest you guys following me there because I have a lot of really good, more information. It's gonna be bomb.com. Let's pull some cards, okay? You ready? Let's take a deep breath in together. Let's pull cards for this Pisces full moon that's happening on August 31st. Before I can even finish, the cards came out. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share this with you, okay? My battery is going low, so I'm gonna have to go quick with these. But it's good, because we've been here for a while. You guys got things to do. Okay, dark night of the soul. So this is a representation of the earth. This month has been equally empowering as it's been a dark night of the soul. And for some of us, we're just like seeking out, oh my God, where's the light? Where's the light? This is the light. The full moon is the light. We're finally holding that light and giving it and raising it up to the ear. And when I see this light, this kind of represents the Pisces full moon, that channel with the astral beings giving you the light that you need for your soul to rise like a phoenix. So I don't know if anyone resonates with phoenix. So what I'm trying to say is for the dark days ahead that our collective has, we are unstoppable as a collective. So more than ever, we need to stop focusing on the dark night, and we need to recognize it and not bypass it, but then see, okay, how can I bring the light to the space? Third ray of creative intelligence. this represents, oh, I love the butterflies, transformation. You're coming out of your cocoon from the dark night of the soul, right? And it's coming from the back of the heart, right? So it's like you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm still, but you don't even see behind you that there are so many butterflies that are bursting out of you, rippling out of you. And this Pisces full moon is just like this astral connection from the butterflies that you have birthed within you, right? And it's streaming out of you and it's going up to the air. This kind of gives me Archangel Ariel vibes. So if you resonate with her, she's coming through. The next card is the 7th ray of the ritual order of ceremony. The fact that it's the 7th card and it's number 444. So if you're seeing the angel numbers 4s or 7s, that's a really potent one for this specific full moon in Pisces. So the 7th ray of ritual and order. So it's just saying that right now we are in a very ceremonial time, right? Ritual and order is like 7 represents the master card. It's the master number. So what are the ways that we can really step into the ceremony of life? Be connected, not disconnected, not bypassing it. I'm going to read the first part of this card for you guys because it's so potent. When a gift of the 7th enters to life, something new is being formed. We're creating something new. We're creating a new world. We're creating a new society. Kids are going to be birthed differently. We're going to see our kids going to school differently. You know, our relationships with our partners are going to be different. Something that will benefit the world. So this is huge, guys. This is bigger than you. You got to start looking at it that way. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of the spiritual freedom, empowerment, choice to be seen and felt, restoring the hope, joy, and heart in your life. So whatever this dark night of the soul that's coming up here, this 7th ray is like what's to come, right? So we're in the cleansing phase. We haven't passed it yet. It's going to be a while, guys. But in that time, can you still be the light? Can you still hold the light like in the dark night of the soul card? Can you still hold the light and still give yourself permission to live instead of focusing on putting the whole world on your shoulder? Take it off. Full moon in Pisces is like time to take off what you're holding about the collective. Even if you're awakening, even if you're realizing all these things, that doesn't mean that you have to hold it. That doesn't mean that you have to carry it. It's not yours to carry, right? The reason why we do all this healing and this work is because we don't want to carry it. Our ancestors didn't want us to carry it, so why are we carrying it, right? So sorry, the card was kind of, hope you guys can still see me. So these are the cards for the Light Oracle deck, and I'm going to do the next deck, which is the Earth Warrior. They're both the same person, Elena Fairchild. This was my go-to card. So we have 12, Sage, Higher Knowledge. I don't need to say more. We have the Owl Spirit that I will point out in their beautiful rainbow around her and this feminine energy, right? This is Mother Earth speaking to us. There's been a lot that's happened this year with her fires, the waters being polluted, like there is. And it's not all of it is Earth doing. It is humans tampering with it. So a lot of you are going to receive information that maybe you didn't know about how the things we're intaking, ingesting, exposed to is being tampered by another energy, by another institution, if you will. Trying to keep it YouTube friendly, if you know what I mean. So, but still sharing the truth. So this is huge. And here it's also talking about the owl. So owl's wisdom. So she's closing her eyes and she sees her third eye and her crown is lit. And she's letting the owl channel this wisdom to her. Let me see the knowledge I need to know. That's what I just heard that. Let me see the knowledge I need to know. Okay guys, sorry my battery died, so we're gonna have to end on my phone. Looks so different. I kind of like the lighting before, but whatever. The next one we have is 𝐴𝐿𝐴𝐾𝐿, which is the warrior spirit. Has the hummingbirds. I'm going to share something very, very truthful, but I think it's needed for us. What happened on an island of Hawaii is more than what it seems. And we got to look at that because that was an example. That is a small example of what things need to shift. And I can tell you right now that Mother Earth is feeling deep pain and is calling and crying for us. And this has been a channel message I've been waiting to share with you guys for us to step up. And whether it's, even myself, like taking that responsibility to put a recyclable bag in your car so you don't have to ask for a plastic bag. looking at new ways to compost, looking at ways to protect our waters in our communities, looking at ways to give more oxygen to the earth. There is a lot that is being tampered with. And until the community and the people come together and support, this Pisces full moon is telling us that the knowledge will continue to be the same answers. Have you guys ever asked Spirit Creator for support and they give you the same information? You're wondering, am I doing something wrong? Like, what's going on? It's because we got to ask ourselves, are we actually putting in that information and letting it flow through and receiving it and it's hitting? Or are we just like taking it, be like, okay, next thing. Listen, listen, listen. Mother Earth is asking you to listen to her truth and not let other people give you the advice. There's too many chefs in the kitchen right now. We're talking about your personal life too. Pisces full moon saying how many chefs are in the kitchen in certain areas of your life. That's actually confusing you more. I'm all about mentors. You know, I support as a medicine guide. But at the same time, I always let people know as I'm in service, as I go into this retreat, you are the medicine. They're communicating with you. What resonates, take it. What doesn't, throw it away. Same thing here. What resonates, take it. You're not forced to take everything. And maybe later on, you might come back to this video and something will resonate that didn't resonate before. And that's cool too. But to really understand that the spirit warrior is like, warriors are being called. Warriors are being birthed. Warriors are doing the work. And if you feel like you've been in the dark night of the soul, let me just tell you right now, we're all doing it. You know, we all got to go do it together, but it can be more brighter and we can still have joy and happiness on the other side if we don't have the world on our shoulder and we do it together, right? The way of the future is not working as a solo, it's working as a collective. And right now she's calling us with the example of Hawaii to work as a collective. We put prayers out there, we put intention out there for her and for all the souls that were part of the contract. I'm gonna say something really deep. Part of the contract to share a message for her and giving that deep prayer of grief that, you know, their soul mission was to let us know to wake up. And we have the choice now. What are we gonna do? So this Pisces full moon is about listen, receive, look. What are the messages? What are the things for you to understand? Stop bypassing the collective dark night of the soul. Start looking at it and start shining light on it and listening. Because the more you do that, the more you get yourself also out of the dark night of the soul. Everything is connected. It's not divided. It's not they and them. It's you. It's us. It's all. It is. So I don't want to go off, but I'm so passionate about this, as you guys can see. And I want to leave it at there, but let me know down below what resonated for you. I can't even speak. And let me know, like, are you having lucid dreams? What's coming up for you? What you feel? Don't forget, I'm going to be posting a meditation for you guys for the next video for this Pisces full moon. It's going to be really potent. And you can do it 3 days before the day of and 3 days after. So make sure you subscribe, like, put notification bell so you do not miss a video. And let me know, like, again, what resonated, any Pisces in the house, if you're new here. So exciting. I'm also opening my one-on-one. So if you resonate with my energy and you're feeling curious to work on that dark night of the soul, to really step into how can I be in devotion to my gifts? How can I show up? How can I stop bypassing, letting the ego run the show? Message me, email me. Let's do some work. And the second thing is the retreat. If you want to go in person, I can tell you right now, guys, this is probably one of my favorite offerings to do, is the retreats. And this is my last retreat of 2023, and it's happening in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So in the Amazon jungle, medicine ceremonies, if you're interested in tapping with your ancestors, connecting with your ancestral codes, healing with your ancestors, and the DNA imprints that you have within you that you are carrying, maybe even ones that you're not even aware of, go and apply. Fill out the Google form as soon as possible because applications will close soon. And I have some few surprises, so add yourself to the email list. It's gonna be announced this fall. Big things, big things, okay? I love you so much. Have a beautiful full moon in Pisces, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, see you on the other side.